Welcome in to the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation with us tonight, all you got to do is head on over to youtube.com, type in Riv City Radio, pick up your phone, dial 503-248-0620, or hit me up on social at Chris J. Burkhardt. That's the name. Don't wear it out. Now we're here to have a little bit of fun as we break down this game. And you know what? The loss, it was definitely a loss, but it was not that bad in retrospect as you look at this thing. This Blazer team today, I thought, played an incredible game of basketball. Defensively, they showed you what they're all about, what they want to do all year long. I mean, Blake Wesley looked good. Drew Holiday looked good, obviously. Tumani, Matisse Thybulle, yeah, give me more of that. I thought he looked wonderful. It was one of those games that you're definitely going to sit back, you're going to watch the tape, and you're going to like what you see. Sometimes you grab a win, sometimes you take an L. Unfortunately, the Blazers took a loss tonight. Like Coach Billups said, sometimes you're gonna lose games you should have won. Sometimes you're gonna win games you probably should have lost. Tonight, it was probably one of those lost a game they should have won. They won 3 of those 4 quarters. In that fourth quarter, Minnesota just took over. More so, Anthony Edwards took over. I believe he hit like 10 of his last 15 shots en route to a 41-point game, his third 40-point game against your Trailblazers. So that was the bad, but there was a lot of good in this one. Again, defensively, crisp. They definitely know what they're trying to do on that end. Offensively, you would like to get a little bit more out of Shaedon Sharpe, but Jeremy Grant absolutely popped off. He had 29 points, a best for him in a season opener and a Trailblazers record for anyone coming off of the bench in the season opener, so not bad at all. Now, looking at some of the chat going on, but Han says, they ran out of gas, and I think they absolutely did. They were definitely getting hounded a little bit. They're late. Minnesota was ready to go, push that tempo. Anthony Edwards was just on fire. I mean, that shot he hit, Tumani played him well, and then he did that little move, pulled back, got just enough space. Tumani bit on the drive a little bit, and he gave him enough space to hit that bucket. But I thought the team was doing a good job making him work for those shots. They were doing a very, very sound job making him put the ball on the floor, making him move. Nothing came easy for Minnesota tonight, even in that fourth quarter when they started to put it together. Now let's look at the box score real quick. Let's start with those Minnesota Timberwolves. Jaden McDaniels had 18 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 19 points, 7 rebounds for Julius Randle. Rudy Gobert had 10 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple block shots. He did end up fouling out of this game. Anthony Edwards, 41 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 points from Dante DiVincenzo. On the bench, they were led by Terrence Shannon Jr., who had 10 points. For your Trailblazers, 20 points, 7 boards, and an assist from Denny Avdia. 10 points, 9 boards from Tumani Kamara. 8 points from Donovan Clingan. 15 points from Shaedon Sharpe on 5 of 20 shooting. So really just kind of a poor shooting night for Shaedon Sharpe. I would like to get to the point where he's hitting threes. He can hit the mid-range, just don't rely on it. I thought a few too many jump shots in this game. His ability to put the ball on the floor and attack the rim is very good, so I would like him to use that just a little bit more. Drew Holiday, 14 points, 7 assists, 6 boards. Jeremy Grant, 29 points off of the bench. Young Hansen, in his NBA debut, he played 5 minutes. He had 2 points and a rebound. Drew Holiday in this one also definitely put on display like why you traded for him and what makes him so good. He made vet plays a lot of times where he would get a rebound and know what the situation was to reset the clock, and just little things that aren't going to show up in a box score that I absolutely loved from him. Once again, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat out there. We'll go out to the phones right now where we have Bryce in North Portland. Bryce, welcome into the fifth quarter. What do you got for me?
Hey, man, welcome back. Hey, another season. And, dude, I loved it. Like, second home opener I've ever gone to in my life, and I felt like this was way more competitive. And even though I'm sad that Delano Banton is no more, there is a beautiful number 5 what you were saying. It doesn't show up in the box score, but you watch that replay. I would imagine they do that little replay of on what is it, the K202, and from what I saw, Drew Holiday, he didn't get the calls, but he dropped to take the charge that somebody of his age and experience in the NBA, today's modern NBA, sometimes they don't make those defensive things. They get thrown a little off balance, but they don't fall in a way that would get the foul call. But maybe it's a more competitive game, something where we're playing the best of a series later in the season. You know, like, I liked his performance, and I liked where we were defensively. We were boxing them out maybe right before halftime. We were 10 more rebounds, and granted, it's a lot of Jeremy Grant being on the bench that attributed it with his good night, but it was like 10 more rebounds and 10 more bench points than the team that really fixated. Is it going to be them? Is it going to be Oklahoma City coming into the finals last year? I thought that was great and competitive.
Yeah, no, Bryce. You held your own with a team that's obviously good on the glass. The Randall is no slouch there. Rudy Gobert is among the best. Ant is great rebounder for a guard, and you went in there. You did your job there. And then your point to Drew Holiday. Yeah, man, he was on the floor quite a few times. Didn't get the call all the time, but it's that competitiveness. He's getting up in players' chests. He's riding their hip. He's making them work. And I thought there was a bleed down effect because Blake Wesley did that all game. Tumani was doing that. I do think they maybe ran out of gas a little bit, but the effort was absolutely there.
It was beautiful, and then I don't know with I didn't really watch the Eastern Conference semifinals like that. Did they ever foul out Gobert, or is that just us standalone within the last few games played by the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I'd have to go look at it, but I do know he's fouled out a few times. But no, overall, yeah, it was a good game. Plenty to be optimistic about. Bryce, and hey, you were here. Did you enjoy getting to hear the letter O and seeing Dame introduced again?
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I wish he would have worn his jersey instead of that really nice mohair sweater, but to each his own. Like, whatever helps him rehab better.
Yeah,
I'll see him next season.
Absolutely. Hey, Bryce, thanks for the call. Always welcome back here on the fifth quarter. I like how he introed the call too with like, welcome back. That's right. We're back every single night, 80, 81 games to follow, hopefully more. If you want to join the conversation with me, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. In the YouTube chat, everyone's popping off. Kirk is just being his usual Kirky self. He's already on the fire Chauncey for the season train. And I can't just get on that one yet. What we saw tonight, personally, Kirk, I thought this team played great. This team played great against a team that is fighting for a championship, against one of the biggest young stars in the NBA, one of the best players in the NBA, Anthony Edwards, without a doubt, and he put it on full display tonight. What I loved about this team is that nobody wavered, nobody panicked when they were tasked with guarding him. You saw Blake Wesley on him, you saw Tumani on him, you saw Jeremy, you saw Drew. Everyone was up to the task to do what they needed to do to win the ball game. I like what they did. Just need a little bit more from from your bench at times. Obviously, Jeremy was on the bench today, and he had a good day. You just need guys like Blake Wesley to be a little more careful with how they carry the ball. I mean, obviously he was good defensively, offensively, just a little reckless. Need to rein that in a little bit. But overall, I thought this was one hell of a basketball game. This was a fun basketball game. And like I told everyone on Blazers game day, that this year is going to be a year where this team is competitive. They're not going to be an easy out. And tonight, they showed you just how competitive they're going to be. All right, we're going to take a quick little break on the show. When we come back, we'll hit you with our drive of the night, our shot of the night, and take a couple more calls. If anyone wants to join us, 248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there. Blazers home opener, they fall to the Minnesota Timberwolves 118-114. This is the fifth quarter, and we continue after the break here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. you want to join the conversation with me, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and you can join the conversation there as well. Whew, that was fun. That was fun. I thought it was a good game. Kirk does not agree with me in the chat. He didn't like the defense, didn't like the offense, he didn't like any of it. Kirk, you're critical. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Be critical. For those of you wondering, that's right. We're in the bowl. You get to hear them. You get to hear the leaf blowers again. What does that sound? Why does it sound like Burkhardt's in the mill? Because the leaf blowers are cleaning up the bowl. Let me tell you what. But I get what Kirk is saying in the YouTube chat here. He didn't like the defense. Didn't see a lot of double teaming or any of that. There was a ton of pressing. That's what the game plan was. They wanted to try to make them work up the floor, wear them out a little bit. And you can be upset about the fourth quarter, but the thing is, for 3 quarters, the Blazers outplayed them. The Blazers outplayed them. In the fourth, it ended up being a little bit of a struggle. They hit their last field goal at like the 5-minute mark. I do think that Denny Avdia's drive there and what would have been, I believe, the game-tying point there would have made it like 116. He got absolutely hounded. I mean, he got hacked by 3 different players at once, and there was no call. But again, that is what it is. It's sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't. You got to live with it. Ant did get a couple open shots late, but he's Anthony Edwards. I still thought he had to work for him. Even that shot against Tumani, I was a little surprised that Tumani bit and then ended up giving him that space. But again, it's Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is really, really freaking good. Like, really good. Kind of wish he was on my team. I like him a lot. But no, I thought the Blazers played well. Some interesting things from this game, though. If you look at how substitution patterns came in, Jeremy Grant first one off the bench, Shaden Sharp first one out. Young Hansen was the second Blazer off the bench, even though he just played those 5 minutes. Wesley and Murray were the next, and then Matisse Thybulle ended up coming in. And then you went with like the fun lineup. They went with an all-small lineup at one point when Denny Avdia, Shaden Sharp checked out. You brought back in Matisse Thybulle, took out Young Hansen because Tease came in for Young, Denny came in from Sharp. So that means you had Denny, you had Tease, you had Murray, you had Wesley. It was all small ball out there, which was really, really fun to watch. And there was those lineups where absolutely, man, it was you had Matisse Thybulle, Drew Holiday, you had Blake Wesley, like all out there at the same time, and they were fighting. And Blake Wesley didn't give up any ground, which was good. Again, offensively made a couple mistakes, but defensively he was incredible. And then Matisse Thybulle's on a different level. He's on an absolute different level out there. He got in, and then it was like steal. He's good. He's dang fun to watch on that end. I do like the experiment they went with a little bit. It was just a matchup like Rasinger. He doesn't like the fact that they went small. They had to match up a little bit. I mean, when they put Young Hansen in, Timberwolves went small to take advantage, and so at times the Blazers just had to try their best to match it because they knew what Chris Finch was going to do, and you also saw that Naz Reid was he boxed out Young Hansen pretty good, gave him a little bit of a, hey, welcome to the league. So did Jaden McDaniels with that massive dunk. And shout out to the YouTube viewers who get the behind-the-scenes look of Michael Shacker cleaning up press row over here for visiting media. He's such a nice guy. Gotta make sure your house is clean at all times. At all times. But no, plenty to like. I get that some people want to be critical of it. That's absolutely fine with me. So Kirk, you're on it. You're not wrong. Everyone else, you're not wrong either. I did take plenty away from this that I liked, and the not liking would like the offense absolutely, like you guys have pointed out. Definitely needs to improve a little bit when it just comes to settling too much. I thought through the 3 quarters it was good. In the fourth quarter, when they needed some shots, they just went too quick. I don't know why. Like you had like a 2-on-1, and Drew Holiday settled for a super quick 3, and it's like, okay, I get what we're doing there, but at the same time, you got a 2-on-1. You could take advantage of that. Go get the easy bucket. Also, there was a point there, I think was at the end of the third when Donovan Clingan hit the 3-pointer in the corner. It was a great shot. The crowd went wild. I watched it going, oh, that was actually a pretty poor decision, at least in my opinion. He had Shaden Sharp with no one in the paint. Nobody in the paint. The defender closed on him, jumped in the air, so he had him up. He could have just easy, boom, bounce pass. There's Shea, easy dunk, easy 2 points. Now, no one's going to be upset because Donovan Clingan hit that three-pointer, but that's also not the shot you necessarily want him taking in those situations. So I would just like the offense to just get a little smoother. Defensively, yeah, start blitzing those pick and rolls. Find a few more chances to double team, do your thing. I think Coach relied a lot on them going one-on-one, fighting through the picks, but I also think it was just, hey, it's an opportunity to see what you have from those guys doing that. Still like everything they had. Kirk says this roster is a playoff roster. I would agree. I would agree like that. I would agree. I would absolutely agree. I have them as a 40 and 42 team. I think they can make the playoffs. He also says at the time for moral victory days are over. Well, yeah, I don't think this is a moral victory. I don't think you go home and say, oh, well, we played good, so be happy. You should be irritated that you lost, but also know that it's not as if you played a bad basketball game. Had some things to work on, but you played a good basketball game for most of that time, and I like that. It's the games that you go out and you just poop the bed, right? And you just don't know what to do, and you are lethargic, and you look like you're disinterested, and then you get ran out of your own gym. I mean, we saw it last year, early in the year, right? Golden State, wasn't it the home opener? Golden State just, boom, boat race you. It was like a 30-point game. Minnesota comes in without Ja Morant, just takes you to the cleaners, right? It's just, you see those games. Tonight wasn't one of those. You stood up, you took the shots. At the end of it, someone's got to lose. Someone's got to lose a game. But in this game, when the bad about this game is just being nitpicky, I think that's a good thing. Again, it's not a moral victory by any means, but I think it's a good thing. If they can play defense like this moving forward and improve upon it, and then offensively just figure out some of those little kinks that they have. Like Shaden Sharp took 20 shots tonight, which I like. I do like the fact that he took the shots. I've been pounding that drum that I want him to be very just aggressive and trying to take over. He just needs to be better. You can't have him shooting 5 of 20 every night. Jeremy Grant took 14 shots, made 10 of them, and that puts him at the 14th most shots taken. That's not 14th, the 4th most shots taken. And if he's taking the 3rd, 4th most every single night, I live with that one all night long. And so yeah, I like that. Kirk just chimes back in. My problem, the coach doesn't seem to be getting any better. I would disagree with that as well. I thought he showed that improvement last year, and again this year I thought this team looked good. It's one game though. I'm not gonna make those decisions just quite yet. Joe signed him to an extension. Joe, trust him. I'm not worried. I don't control that. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of people who would like that change, would have liked it to happen, but it didn't. It didn't. Now you just gotta focus on what you got. I trust him. I like the defense today. I think the team is getting better. It sucks when you lose game one, and so yeah, that part sucks. But again, we're talking Anthony Edwards came into town, did Anthony Edwards things, and it still took a last-minute bucket to get that dub. Little things to work on, but that's why you play 82 games. That's why you play 82 games. All right, we're gonna take a quick little break here. Oh, shout out, Jake. Thanks for having my back. Someone needs to. Kirk, I appreciate you more than you know right now, because you, my friend, you're in mid-season form. Like, there's no ramp-up. You're ready to go, baby. You're ready to go, and I love it. If you want to join the conversation with Kirk and Jake and Wyoming's head coach up there in the chat, you know what to do. Go to youtube.com, type in River City Radio. You can also grab your phone dial 503-248-0620 and get in on the telephone calls with me. When we come back, we're going to head to the coach's corner. I'm going to hand out a game ball, and then we're going to go home. I'm tired. I'm not in mid-season form, man. These late nights, it's going to take a minute. Chris Burkhardt here with you on the 5th quarter, and your home of the Blazers, River City Radio 620.
Defensively, we were kind of everywhere. We made them work and earn every single thing they got. I'm proud of us. I thought we played good enough to win. We lose one quarter of the game, and obviously it was the most important quarter. A couple tough plays late, but so many good things to take away from this game. I think you see how we want to play and who we want to be, and so I'm happy with the effort. Obviously disappointed with the loss. Played good enough to win. We deserved to win that game. But the course of a season, you're going to lose some games you deserve to win, and you're going to win some games you might deserve to lose. It's just it's like that sometimes.
Was the fourth quarter to you just a matter of not making shots, or did you not like the way you guys were playing, or something looked your
No, I thought we played the exact same way. I really do. We had some.
Is like 2 or 3 minutes okay, Burkhardt, or you want a little bit more than that?
He was one of the best shooters around. Had some really good looks, couldn't make. Jeremy, who was playing great, had a great look in the corner, couldn't make. And then just a couple kind of turnovers, kind of getting a little bit out of control that I thought hurt us. And they shoot 50% from the three-point line. That's tough.
There were also a lot of transitions and pace was kind of fast. Do you see that kind of like a tire problem, or what's your take from that?
I don't know, but we had a ton of opportunities. When you look at, and we turned them over, 19 times, but only for 15 points. We need to be better at converting when we have numbers. 3-on-2s, 4-on-3s, situations like that. We had some tough luck in that department in the game today.
What do you attribute that to, Chauncey? Last year, you guys were good at generating turnovers and getting out of transition, but you guys kind of finished towards the bottom of the league and converting them. So what's the kind of thing that you need to do to get over that?
Well, to me, it's a focus thing for one.
Last question. I tried to cut it off before Danny. Just missed it.
I always thought that a lot of times that decision needs to be made a lot earlier. There was a play that happened kind of late in the fourth, and then he kind of got the ball early, way past half court. Jeremy was streaking ahead. He waited 2 dribbles to pass it to him, which allowed him to get back. But really, if you just kick it ahead, the defense flattens out. Now, then he's running right into a layup or dunk or 3. So it's just really that the focus and understanding the play, and what's going to happen before it even kind of happens, So that was just one real live example, but we have a ton of those.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls on Fifth Quarter.
All right, time to hand out a game ball from tonight's game, and I wonder who the game ball could be handed to tonight. Is it frowned upon to hand it to Michael Shacker for making sure we got up in the fifth quarter? Because first,
he deserves it.
The game day was a little hairy for those of you who didn't pay attention or don't know. We had a little snafu technically, and the radio feed wasn't working for game day, and so I did just YouTube only. And yeah, that was crazy. Shacker came in like Batman, just hit the zip line, came flying in, full wings and everything. It was really crazy because he used a deep voice too. He's like, "I'll help you. What do you need? You need to get on radio. You're gonna do it from my spot, fifth quarter." Shing, and he dropped some smoke and he was gone. Like, Shacker is amazing. Shacker is here now. You know what I told Chad the other day is that I'm a Red Sox fan, okay? And Brendan, you'll appreciate this. I'm a Red Sox fan. I love every once in a while just like rewatching the three Nights in October documentary about the comeback. I was watching the comeback documentary as well. And anytime they do an interview with Kurt Schilling, I'm like, have we confirmed that like Kurt Schilling isn't related to Michael Shacker? Because they look like they could be related. There's no blood on his sock. He's showing the world there's no blood on his sock. That was just one game. But I'm just saying, you could be related. Joking aside, though, the real game ball, even though Shacker did do some heavy lifting and we appreciate him for it, it absolutely goes to Jeremy Grant tonight. Going off the bench, scoring 29 points. He was 10 of 14 from the floor. Shout out to the principal, Curtis Long, put together some great numbers. It's the most that Jeremy Grant has ever scored in a season opener, going back to his time with Detroit when he scored 24. That was the most. His 29 points are the most by a player off the bench in Blazers season opener history. Besting the 24 set by, listen to these two names, Pat Connaughton in 2017 and Nick Stauskas, a.k.a. Sauce Castillo, in 2018, both grabbing 24. So a good performance for Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant's 29 points are tied for the most off the bench in his NBA career. He had 29 for Denver versus Detroit in 2020. Jeremy Grant shot 71% tonight. That's pretty good. Let's see. Here's a chart on the highest field goal percentage in a season opener for the Blazers, and that goes to Michael Harper, shot 90% in 1981. Kiki Vandeweghe, 82.6% in 1984. And, this is an all-around great game from Jeremy Grant. I say this seriously, that I really hope that he leans into this, and if the starting lineup for the rest of the year is what it was tonight, Drew, Shea, Denny, 2, and DC, that he leans into the six-man role. Because if he finds his role and owns it, he can be really, really good in that role. I have argued that I don't think he's the number one option type guy. We've seen that at times here in Portland for him. I don't know if he's a number 2. I always think he's more that 4-ish. But if he just leans into the six-man role and does this all the time, and it doesn't always have to be 29-point games, but he's a guy you can rely upon to get you shots, that's good. And he was so effective tonight. Not just the three-pointer, but getting to the rim, getting smart buckets. There was a lot to like. And again, a lot of people have also said, starters are important, but what's important is who do you have to close the lineup. He was in that closing lineup. Unfortunately, closing lineup did struggle just a little bit. But yep, he gets my pick. Also, I did like that Curtis, he is a stats guru, pointed out that Drew Holiday's 7 assists are the most by a Blazer from UCLA since the coach, Michael Holton, had 9 on April 15th, 1998. And Anthony Edwards, this is his third 40-point game against the Blazers. The only other player to have 3 or more 40-point games against the Blazers prior to turning 25 is Luka Doncic. Was that Luka's rookie year when he came in here and hit that corner 3 right in front of the Blazers bench? I think it was his rookie year.
The one that basically had him arrive and everyone's like, okay, we're watching this dude literally say, hey, I'm here. And I think the Blazers still won that game, Chris. But I remember the big takeaway was, oh, hey, Luka's here.
Yeah. Luka, it didn't take him long whatsoever. If you want to join the conversation too, we got some good chats. Kia Wakapu says, I ran some calculations. Blazers need 42 wins to make the playoffs this year. Bet. Achievable if they win 75% of the games versus non-playoff teams. From last season, 25% of the games versus playoff teams, and a bit higher percentage against Eastern Conference teams. Boom, there you got it. Here's the deal. I have them as a 40 and 42 team. I know Chad has them at 45. I think that this team can definitely be a play-in team. Absolutely can be a play-in team. Kirk, Utah beat Portland in the preseason with Blazers starters. It was also the preseason. Nothing matters. The game you watched today, that looked nothing like any preseason game we watched. Utah also beat the Clippers tonight. Womp, womp, womp. Oh, how many games is Utah going to win? Hey, at least they got sweet uniforms and a nice new court. Things are looking nice over there, right? So before we leave, speaking of that, since it was basically the opening night around the league, we do know we did get Golden State, the Lakers last night, as well as the awesome double overtime game between Houston and OKC, despite the fact that, 3 officials on the floor missed a timeout call. But let's take a look at some scores from around the league. Finals, obviously, Portland plays last. The Knicks grab a 119-111 victory over the Cavs. The Hornets, 136-117 over the Nets. The Magic 125-121 over the Miami Heat. The Raptors grab a 138-118 win over the Hawks. 76ers 117, Celtics 116. That was quite the game there too. Not only was it a close game, the 76ers, they got some young guys who are looking ready to go. I think VJ was putting up a monster game. Nobody had more of a monster game than Victor Wembanyama, though, who we'll get to in a second. The Bulls 115-111 over the Pistons. The Grizzlies 128-122 over the Pelicans. The Bucks 133-120 over the Wizards. The Clippers, like I said a second ago, fell to the Jazz 129-108. The Spurs 125-92 over the Mavericks. Victor Wembanyama 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, and an absolute insane highlight reel. Insane highlight reel of dunks. The one late in the game where he has Anthony Davis on him, puts the ball on the floor, dribbles around him, takes one step in the key, and then dunks. It's like no one else can do that. It's unfair, but it's also just amazing. The Suns grab a 120-116 victory over the Kings, and finally your Trailblazers fall to the Timberwolves 118-114. That is going to do it for taking on the Golden State Warriors. Tip-off at 7 p.m., which means I will have Blazers game day for you at 5 o'clock, hopefully on radio and not just YouTube. We'll figure out everything, and we'll have fifth quarter for you, all the like, wrap up this little 2-game homestand to start the season before the Blazers hit their first road trip. That does see them go on the road for a 3-game trip, even though it's only 2 cities. A stop in L.A. to take on the Clippers and the Lakers, and then they take on the Utah Jazz. Once again, the final from Moda Center, the start of the 2025-2026 season. The Blazers fall to Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves 118-114. For Batman, a.k.a. Michael Shacker, for Robin, a.k.a. Brendan Slaughter, Superman signing out. Rip City. I'll see you on Friday.